All right, we are back in action with our next class. So you guys get super excited because Summer Rain Bassard, who has been a rock star consultant partner for years, you guys, this woman has moved again and again and again and again as a military wife, restarted her business over and over. She'll give you all of those stats, but she perpetually has new people to work with. And she's going to teach you today exactly how she makes that happen. So Summer Rain, I'm going to turn it over to you, Mama.
Thanks, Heather. Okay, so I just want to say thank you guys to tuning in or rewatching this class. You guys are doing yourselves a huge favor. One of my favorite things ever is talking about filling a funnel, keeping your leads fresh, finding new people. I think because it's so easy to me, I always find fascination to help other people with it. So I really hope that you guys are excited and you're going to take notes. Now, I am going to go through my class. But I also want you guys to make sure you guys are keeping track of questions because I'm going to try and give you guys plenty of time, like lots of time to ask questions. That's the goal, right? Okay, so the only thing I can't figure out here, Heather, we might not have to use it. That's okay, is my slideshow, but we don't actually need it. I
Are
don't
you
really need.
sure? Because I
Yeah.
can pop it in.
No. I actually have it here on my phone too, so I can use it as a reference. It's totally fine.
They don't need the visual.
I don't mean, if people, I don't think so. There's nothing like spectacular on it.
Okay,
There's
you
nothing.
talk.
Yeah, it's totally fine. But I can go like this. Okay, guys. So I had a cute little PowerPoint just for some of you guys who are visual, but I will make sure and show you guys anything that I feel like is relevant. So first things first, I'm going to use the word funnel a lot, and I feel like you need to understand what a funnel is. And it's kind of funny because either you know funnels from like working in the kitchen and funneling ingredients into things, or maybe you know it from being working on cars, funneling oil and things like that. And so I wanted to I'll show you this picture of a funnel and what we're going to talk about. Okay, so it's really hard to see, I'm sure, but it says awareness, consideration, conversion, loyalty, advocacy. And the funnel is where it's large at the top, right? And it comes down smaller to where whatever you're pouring inside of it keeps flowing down till it finally flows all the way through. And so when you hear the word funnel in the world of pure romance, it refers to a sales funnel. And a sales funnel is this: it's a marketing term for a journey potential customers go through on the way to a purchase. Well, in our business, it's the potential that a person has to be a sale, a hostess, an advocate, but ultimately a partner. Okay. So again, that sales funnel that you're going to find in marketing goes through awareness of what you do. So think about this. Every single person that you meet goes into your funnel, male, female, anything in between, but whoever, everybody goes into your sales funnel, because even though they may not become a partner, they could become a sale, they could become a friend, they could become somebody who talks about your business. So that first level is everybody you meet is awareness of what you do. You've got to make sure that people know that you are with Pure Romance and what it is, what you do within Pure Romance, right? The next step that they're going to keep falling down into the funnel is consideration to join, host, or shop, right? Or even consider to tell about you to their neighbors, their friends, their family. Okay. The next one is conversion to be a client, a hostess, or a partner. The person, you're basically converting them to just knowing about you, kind of having questions, but now they're spending some kind of money or quality time and investment into what it is you do and who you are. The next step is loyalty to you and the team and the brand. First things first, you cannot go out there trying to convince people to join Pure Romance. I think that's where a lot of this goes wrong when people feel like they're struggling with sponsoring, especially. Okay, it's not about joining Pure Romance, even though that's what you hear. It's about joining you as a partner. When I go out and I sponsor, I am building a community, a family. I'm making friends. They don't join Pure Romance because of the amazing things that Chris and Patty have done or the company has done. They join for who we are as people. They trust us, okay? Number 5, then once they are loyal, they are now advocates, which means, and you guys probably actually even have people who've never shopped with you, but advocate for what you do, what you say, how you've helped them in a conversation, how you've helped their friends. And so the more that you can push them down into the sales funnel, the more that they become locked in arms with you in this mission of that we're all here today with for Pure Romance, right? Okay, so I'm gonna open up my slide just as a reference, and I'll show you guys, but you're not missing much. Trust me, it was just kind of put together. So I had something. So keeping your funnel fresh and full, right? All right, so I want to welcome you guys to my class. I basically want you guys to be setting goals. I'm huge for goal setting, and it's kind of perfect because it's January 2nd, right? You have to be setting goals all the time, not just the end of the year, not just beginning of the year, not just every quarter, but like all the time you have to be setting goals. And if you really want to meet people, you have to have a goal that you're constantly working towards, or you have no way to get there. And it really does tie into, okay, I want to lose weight. Well, great. How much do you want to lose? What are you going to do to get there? It's the same thing. Okay, I want to sponsor, I want to be in the 50 club this year. How many of you guys are going for the 50 club in 2022, right? Okay, great. Now you know you have that goal. How are you going to get there? The other thing that I really do is I focus on what my reputation says. What is it that people are saying about you when you're not in the room? Okay. For me, I'm going to share mine, and then you guys can kind of think on it, what you want yours to be. But my goal is basically to be Google. Like, I want to be the most resourceful local person in the local area that I'm at. Now, Heather said, I guess I didn't tell you guys this. I've been a military spouse. It'll be 15 years this June. I have been in this business for 10 of those 15 years. We have moved 8 times, I think it is now. And every single time I have to pick up my business. And even though I'm not starting fully from scratch each time, it feels like it. And I am so grateful for the connections that I make every single duty station, because that's what helps me keep growing and having these great years after year after year after year. But the thing is, for any of you guys who move a lot or you're military, the big thing I'm going to tell you is you want to be that local resource. And if you don't move, you guys are already like lucky. Let me tell you why. If you're like, and this were me, if I were back home in Maryland, hey girls, hey, those of you who are in Maryland, I would be that girl who knew everything about the area, who does what businesses, when do the events happen, is this kid friendly, is this, who's the, like, I would know everything, okay, like wiki summary, and that would be me, right? But I do the same thing on as big as possible every single time that I move. So I establish my services usually before I move. That way, as soon as I'm in that town, I go to those services and I meet people. For example, I got here about 7 days ago in Texas, and I'm actually in vacation in another part of Texas right now with my family. But literally, the 4th day that I was there, I had my eyelash appointment. Or no, it was the 3rd day. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I had my eyelash appointment. It was very important to me because I'm on a 2-week schedule with those. And I wanted to find the best of the best in the area, period, right? And so I went to a local mom group, and I'm like, hey, ladies, not sure if this has been asked before, but I'm looking for truly the best lash artist in the area. I want to know personal testimonials. I want to see your pictures. I created a conversation in a local group that I intend to be a part of the conversation ongoing and providing my own feedback for while I'm here. I started the conversation. I kept the conversation going by asking questions, responding to every single comment. Okay. And then eventually I actually did find who I think is going to be one of the best people to go to in the area for me. And what was really great was I went to my appointment then. I talked to her during the appointment. Found out we had a lot in common, a lot of great connections. She was the salon owner. That's also a tip. I always, always, always book with the owner first. And then if I feel like I want to keep going there but not see the owner, then I'll switch to a different person. They don't mind. They're still getting my money. But I always book with the owner first because I want her to have more of a say when it comes to events and things that we may join in together with. So the owner and I talked about hosting Galentine's in her salon for February. And then she introduced me to a friend who's getting married in February and now wants to do a bachelorette party. And this was just ongoing. They had 4 friends join my Facebook group from that conversation. And it's going to continue to keep going as we keep talking, you guys. So that's it. Like, whatever your services are, if you're business that you're supporting for a service isn't supporting you back, maybe it's time for you to break up and find a new service. Okay, and let me give you another story about that, because it's really, really hard to break with people that you've been going to for a long time. I was going to another, when I lived in one of the past places, Pensacola. Okay, that's where it was, Pensacola. I was going to this girl because I found her. She was good. I saw her Instagram. It was great. And we got along. It was fine. But after months and months and months of me seeing her, she still had not been willing to host a party, buy anything, tell her clients, like nothing. And then it became time for me to start realizing, like, okay, I'm finding her value. She's not finding my value, even after I felt like we had built a connection. So that was like, let me think about this. I found another eyelash girl, and immediately we clicked. Immediately she was like, oh my gosh, I need to place orders with you. She hosted a party with me. She's literally sent thousands of dollars worth of orders my way. Guys, don't be afraid to break up with people. Okay, just do it. Trust me, it's fine. Okay, also, one of the things is when you are meeting people, you want to get them, show them as much value as you can for free. I don't know if any of you guys follow Gary Vee, but one of the things that he says is give away your best stuff for free, and then they'll pay for the rest. And I think that that's really important, because when you guys are posting on your profiles in your VIP group, in your business pages, and you're at your parties, right? We're talking about all of the education. We're giving all the funny stuff. We're doing all of these things that have value, and it's free. And the more of that free value we can give them, the more valuable they deem us. Okay, so here's the thing. If you are not a person of value when it comes to your community that you're in, people will only see you as a direct sales consultant trying to make money and trying to do nothing to really help the community. You've got to be a part of where it is that you are. All right, so I'm going to get into this a little bit more, but I do want to make sure that you guys understand how important it is to have a way to get girls connected to you as fast as possible. And the number one way right now that I can give it to you is having a QR code that takes them directly to your VIP group. This is the fastest, easiest way to do it. I actually will show you my lock screen. Sorry, my notifications are going crazy. Okay, so this is my current lock screen on my phone. I made this in Canva. Whoops. Okay, so my kids, y'all, they are my world, my everything. I literally do this business so that I can drive them around to sports all day long. Okay. And then I have my little motivational quote, because I always love to have little quotes to remind myself. And my current one says, effort is a direct reflection of interest. Hello. Okay. Yes, it is. And then this was just made in a little free QR code generator. I put this all together in my Canva, and I saved it as my lock screen. And what's really cool is my husband, I wish I don't have his phone right now, but like you test it. You always want to test your QR codes, because sometimes they can go a little wonky. But as soon as he put his camera over it, he clicked it, and it could take it to what my VIP group link is. So you guys are talking to people, meeting people. You probably don't have your phone already open, but what I do is like, oh my God, you should join my group. Okay, great. Open your phone. And I already have it. I don't even have to open my phone or do anything else, and like you just scan it. Another way is you can actually get a sticker or a Pop-It. They have Popples. They have all kinds of things that can give you those QR codes to people really quickly. Stickers, pens, carry those with you as well. I have a little bit more on that coming to you. Make sure that you are adding these women. Now, if you are trying to book parties, find recruits, make sales in a certain area, if you have been watching me teach for the last, I don't know, 6 to 7 years, you've heard me in one of my classes talk about using Facebook lists. It's really hard to do on mobile. You actually have to go into the desktop, but you can still add people into Facebook lists. It's not easy to find, just a preface, but here's the thing and why it pays off. If I'm in Texas right now for the next 6 months, every single person that I add, because I live in Texas, I met them here in Texas, they're going to go on a Texas list. Now, why is this beneficial? Okay, so if I'm going out there for Valentine's Day and I really want to make sure that my calendar's full for January, February, even in March, right? Those are the people that I'm going to make sure that I'm constantly keeping in touch with, that I can go to that list and I can send them a message. I can post on their walls to check on them. I can make up Facebook posts that only they see. Only those people on that list see, okay? So it's really important that you guys find some kind of way to keep track of your leads. Some people do this in a spreadsheet too. So if you're really spreadsheet oriented, go for it. In fact, spreadsheets is what you can use to keep track of not just your leads where they live, but all your leads and their interest level. I think it was Mia Rivera who had posted one when we did a synergy of 7, like 2 years ago, or maybe a year ago. I don't know if the last couple of years blend together. But you can just make one really simple, really easy. I have one that my assistant and I use. We share together through Google. And it's just the person's name. And then we highlight the color of what that conversation is that I'm working on them with. So, and then there's notes in the columns and dates that we talk to them, things that they've ordered, etc. But it's important that you find a way that works for you, right? Okay. Penny funnels. I really want you guys to think about this. I had a picture of it. Let me show you guys. So if you don't know what a penny funnel is, it's like this. Okay. Whoops. There we go. So remember when we were kids at the mall, and they still have them at some malls, but you like put a penny in there and it just kind of spins. Sometimes it takes forever. It would just stay at the top and spin 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 and spin. I want you to think, how many of you have leads that you're like, oh my gosh, if she would just book a party, I know she would sign up and join my team. But she's like not even willing to like have that conversation with you. But you know, one day she's just spinning at the top of that funnel right now. Eventually, guess what? Gravity is going to pull her down as long as you keep doing your job, right? So everybody has to be put into this funnel. It's a drip system. Now, this is a whole other class I could teach, but I want to just give you this idea to think about what a drip system is, because you can use this. It's a marketing term also that you can use through all your different social media platforms to get people to follow you and then eventually drip down into signing up as a consultant, right? But basically think about it as that funnel is a drip system. Okay, let me show you that picture one more time because I want you to understand this. Awareness. So they're at the top, they're aware of what you do. Okay, the next step, you're going to drip them down somehow, some way into considering it what you do. Sometimes it's, okay, awareness is, let's say they're your friend on Facebook, right? Consideration is, oh yeah, I want to join your VIP group. Okay. Conversion is when they either finally host a party, place an order on your website or with you, or join your group for people who are interested in the business, right? From there, they sign up. They're now loyal to you, right? And then through those experiences that they have as a hostess or as a consultant or a partner or a client, they are not only are loyal, but then they start advocating and telling people what you do. It's a drip system. And you can use this throughout your whole social media. If you have TikTok, if you have Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is, you can do this, you guys. Now, I'm going to say something that's a little bit radical, but some of you have heard it before, so it won't be too bad. You're going to hear in corporate trainings, book, sell, share, repeat. Book, sell, share, repeat. I think that's great. But if you want to find more leads, you have to turn your mind completely backwards. Literally flip it on its end. So you're going to sponsor first. Your goal is to sponsor everybody first. Okay. And you're going to be like, well, I don't know how to do that. Yes, you do. It's the same thing. It's just a different thought process. I have another picture maybe, I think, for you guys. Let's see where we're at. Okay. Nope, no pictures, just making sure I'm on track. Okay. So if you think sponsoring first, here's what happens. I'm in a new area. Let's say I'm a new consultant starting my business all over again. In fact, by the way, in my first year of business, I sponsored almost 60 people. And it was because I was trained with this mindset. So if you're new and you're like, I can never, you can. I did it. If I can do it, trust me, you can do it. Okay. The mindset has to be sponsor first. I'm going to go out. I'm going to meet and in fact, here's I just told you guys about my eyelash girl. I booked with the owner. I talked about all these things for Valentine's Day, but in my mind, if I can get her to sign up, right? If I can convince her to become a consultant, she has all of her clients she has access to build a team with. That's literally what I was thinking. I'm like, okay. So my goal is to become to a point with her where she trusts me enough to then be her team leader and teach her how to build a second company, essentially, to what it is that she's already started and that's so successful, right? So don't be intimidated by other business owners. Usually business owners have that hustle mindset and they're like, how can I make more money? How can I get to that 7 streams of income? Okay. So I'm sorry. I want you to sponsor. When they say yes, great, sign them up and don't be afraid to do it quickly and fast. Sign them up. If they say no, it means, all right, probably not right now, maybe never, who knows? But the next step's going to be, all right, well, that's cool. I'd love to be your consultant for life. Let's get you a party going. So then your next step, you're going to funnel them down into a party. They're going to say, yes, great, cool, sign them up, get the party going. If they say no, again, maybe later, maybe never, offer them to look at your catalog. Ask if there's any intimate questions that you can help them with. Talk to them about maybe placing an order. Again, yes, great. Get that sale, put them in your VIP group. Eventually, maybe now they'll consider hosting a party, and then you can work them back up to hosting a party and joining your team, right? It's like a stair step up and down, up and down. Maybe no, maybe never, maybe, who knows, right? They're still floating at the top of your funnel at this point. Okay. They don't pop out unless they block you. Okay. And I think there is like a little joke there because it's like, don't stop until they block you, right? There is a line, but just make sure that you guys know it doesn't mean no forever. It just means you have to work that person either up or down the stair step case or the funnel until you get somewhere with them, right? Okay. Let's see where we are. Sponsor first. Yes, great, signer out. See, another thing I wrote down that I thought was interesting is if you've ever read that book, Eat That Frog, sponsoring is a lot like eating that frog. You guys, it's hard to go out there and think, man, could I convince somebody to do this? It's not about convincing them. It's about showing them the value that we offer, that what pain can we ease in their life, right? And we know that people will, they will make decisions to ease their pain or give them pleasure, but most of the time they'll choose pain over pleasure. So just know that. Is it something we can offer, like a social life or more fun, right? Is their life kind of drab and terrible and they don't have friends right now? We can make that more exciting and fun. Are they having financial or money issues? We can give them financial and money freedom. Do they not have a supportive partner or any friends to lean on in tough times? Guess what? We have one of the best support systems ever. I can definitely attest to that. Maybe they really feel like they need these products, but they can't afford them, right? Guess what? All of us get discounted and free products every single day, which is insane. How about this? Free training to take into the job market. Most people are not looking at direct sales because they don't want to build a big company by themselves or they think it's a scam or whatever. But here's what most people don't understand. The amount of skills that I have acquired by being a consultant, by being a partner with Pure Romance is insane. My resume, I've literally thought about it. I was like, I should really put together a resume just to see what I could really, truly put on there because it would be incredible. Not to mention extended education, right? Because anybody who signs up to be a partner gets a free college certificate. I do not know of a company who can compete with us because nobody else offers that. Indiana University hooks us up with a free sexual educator certificate. Are you kidding me? What? Now, if that all wasn't enough, I invite you to think about this. How many of you are Pokemon fans, play Pokemon, have kids that play Pokemon, Pokemon Go? The cards have been sold out for like weeks for Christmas. We couldn't track them down. We gave up. We're like, we'll get some later. But let me tell you something. I've said this for a long time. I used to talk about going fishing. I've talked about Pokemon, but I want to go back to Pokemon because it's a really great concept. So in Pokemon, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. I just got this from my 5-year-old who is. And the goal, I guess, is to catch as many Pokemon as you can, right? Now, I thought this was interesting the other day because he was teaching me. He has this little book and he was saying he catches the Pokemon and then you train them to be better at battle, right? And they can also, I forgot the word he used, but they can spawn into more powerful, bigger Pokemon. And y'all, if I'm getting this wrong, let me know. It's fine. But this is just what my 5-year-old told me, so I'm going to trust him. And I thought that was so interesting because I'm like, I've been talking about Pokemon Gotta Catch 'em All for years when it comes to sponsoring and building a team and finding leads. And I was like, it's exactly what I'm talking about. So here's the thing. It is your goal to go out and meet as many people as you possibly can because every single person you meet goes into that funnel. How you take care of that funnel matters though. Okay. And I was listening to Danielle King and Tawana's class and how they have this full-time jobs that are really demanding, and they still have this incredible VIP group that keeps their businesses six figures, President's Club board of directors plus, right? And I'm like, that's exactly it. You have to nurture them. So you can't just like go out and meet a bunch of people. You have to keep having those connections with them. But your reputation, remember how I said at the beginning, really matters. Okay. So, for example, one of the things that I do when I'm going out in the community, I'm meeting people and finding out who the services are, the businesses are, who the go to thing, anybody is. I want to make sure that people know that I'm a face along with a social media profile. You cannot sit behind your profile your whole life if you want to make genuine community connections. Okay. If you want to give yourself roots, no matter how long it is that you're in a place, if you're there permanently, you guys, your roots should be so deep, right? And so people have to get to know you. They have to get to know you, having a face. And so I don't know if this is in my notes or not, but I want to make sure I say this to you guys. When you are getting invited to local events, especially networking events, marketing events, anything at all that you could potentially represent yourself as your business, or actually just period, any events, do not click yes or maybe and no show it ever, ever. Okay. It is a yes if you are going to, no matter what, commit yourself to that event, or no, there's no way for me to make it. Okay. Because you have got to show up with the same energy that you're asking everybody else to show up at your parties with. We used to call that party karma. We used to back in the day, because basically as flaky as you are to other people is what you will get in return per the laws of the universe. So be clear with your intent when it comes to these events. And then if you say yes, show up. Be that person. Put yourself together. Make sure you are presenting your best self, because your best self and whatever impression that you leave in person carries over to what people then say about you after they've read your social media post and profile and VIP group. Okay. When you're out in public, use your QR codes to get people in your VIP groups fast. You can have them add you as a friend. Another key thing that I do to make sure that I connect with people quickly is I have them text me. Okay. And I have them text me because if I text them, then necessarily they could ignore it. But if they text me while I'm there, and a lot of times I'll be like, here, do you want me to just put my number in for you? And then you can send a text. I take their phone, I put their number in, they text me with their first and last name and email address while we're standing together. And the reason I do that is because now I have their name, first and last, then I have their phone number because it came through their text, and then I have their email. And if you guys are not collecting emails, you guys are going to like spank your own behinds when you realize how important it's been that you should have been doing it this whole time. Remember a couple months ago, Facebook shut down for an entire day. And like the world literally was like insane. They were like, what do we do? What do we do? A lot of social influencers, like a lot of you guys on the team, are like, oh my God, I can just sit here for a day and do nothing. Like it was a vacation day. But what if that happens for real for a really long time? How are you going to reach your leads? Phone numbers and email addresses, y'all. Phone numbers and email addresses. Make sure you guys are collecting them. Okay, now you need to make sure that you have a system. What's your system going to look like? I don't care what your system looks like. I don't care if you have 3 systems. I need you to have a system. Lists, right, on Facebook, lists in a notebook. I have one whole notebook full of recruit lead names, contact information, and when I talk to them, and maybe what their problem or excuse was at that time. You can do that same thing, like I said, in spreadsheets. I also love sticky notes. I love me a good sticky note wall. I'm not in my office right now. I'm in a hotel, but I'm really famous for having a wall of sticky notes. And what I do when especially we're working big hit sales is I put all the names that I'm talking to up on the wall in a sticky note, and I can take them down when they sign up, and then I can keep track of their onboarding on the back of or on the rest of the sticky note. Here's another really cool thing that you can do. I don't know if I have one. I think I have a dummy one I can show you guys. How many of you, this is how you do it. I'm going to show you how to do it actually. So let's say you're talking to a recruit lead, right? Look, there's my recruit lead. and I really want to focus on her, but I have a really busy lifestyle. I can't keep track of sticky notes, things like that. All you do is you screenshot it, okay? And then you go into your photo albums. And this is a different album I'll put in there, so we'll put it in here. And all I have to do is go to where I just screenshotted that. Okay, and then you click select, click the picture, click it. I don't know if you guys have Android, it's a little bit different, but I just move it to an album. And I'm just gonna move it to a recruiting album. Boom, now it's in the recruiting album anytime that I want to use it. And you guys can do this. It doesn't have to be somebody who expressed interest in joining your team before. If you have somebody in mind that you know that she's always posting certain things that would really align with our goal and mission with Pure Romance, guess what? She doesn't have to know yet that she's a recruit lead. You just have to know that she's a recruit lead. So screenshot her, put her in the album. And now that album is every time that you guys are taking a bathroom break, a smoke break, my kids finally went to bed at 8 o'clock like they're supposed to break, whatever it is, you can pull up that album and you can go straight there and start just liking and commenting, genuine connections, messaging them, checking up on them, sending them love mail, but you have a directed list to focus on and not just everybody, because we have everybody in the funnel, right? But now we want to start working through that funnel. Those people that you screenshot or you put on a spreadsheet or a list or sticky note, you've kind of dropped them down into the funnel. Those are going to be more of your focus because you want to drop them down a level again, right? So they're just going to keep spinning, but are they going to spin at the top or are they going to start to spin down and funnel out, right? Okay. Let's see really quickly, more ways. Oh, wait, let me tell you this before I wrote this down. Make sure that you're discussing the opportunity, when you are discussing the opportunity with your recruit leads, that you're asking questions and not reciting details. Don't word vomit on them, okay? If you're typing like back and forth on Facebook Messenger, for example, stop responding immediately, okay? You're not always going to be available like that. Don't train your recruit leads to think that you are going to be available all the time. I can tell you right now, as a person who has a team of over 300 women, sorry, not girls, that was horrible, women. One of the things that I do is I cannot respond to them immediately every single time. I try really hard to get it in 24 hours, but whatever I'm treating my team as has to be the same way that you're treating your recruit leads. You're not going to lose a recruit lead if you tell her, hey girl, I'm going to start this conversation with you. I'd prefer to have it over the phone so I can be really attentive to you. But since it sounds like you are really interested in more information, I don't mind talking to you through Messenger. I just want to let you know that it is harder for me to respond immediately. Like, set those expectations, be honest, be clear. People really respect that. Okay. And don't be afraid to offer a phone call. In fact, my favorite way to do, order consults and recruit conversations are through Zoom or FaceTime, because of course, like you guys know, you get more from the face-to-face and video. When everything shut down March of 2020, I honestly believe the reason I sold $20,000 that month was because I decided to start FaceTiming everybody. And then what was really cool is that those people that I did FaceTime, people that I didn't even know, I've never talked to before, they became loyal clients through that pandemic. I mean, we're still in it, but you know what I mean? Through that rest of that year, we really had a more solid foundation, where we could work together. So great ideas, huh? More ways to find leads. Okay. 1, use Facebook or Eventbrite to find vendor shows and network meetings. Click only going if you're going. Don't build a reputation that says interested or maybe, and no shows. You can actually go into Facebook and search in the search bar network meetings, and it'll pop up in your area. Eventbrite, same thing. People post sometimes on both, sometimes only on one. So make sure you're checking both. Number 2, join local Facebook groups. Do not spam your business. Become a true community member and join the conversation. Oh my goodness, this is a soapbox moment. I'm going to try and keep it in because I really want to get your questions here in a few minutes. But here's the thing. The biggest reason that direct sales has the bad reputation that it does is because people went into groups, started spamming everything. And now in 80% of the groups on Facebook, you can't even post that you're with a direct sales company without getting banned. So don't do that. Don't be that person. Instead, go in there and do what I said. Ask questions, answer questions, become a part of the community by being a valuable community member. Okay. Number 3, book vendor events and spend energy booking parties and connecting with the vendors. Now, I have seen this come up a lot, and I'm not an expert, but I will tell you this. If you're going to vendor events and your goal is to sell a lot of products, you are probably not going to win the game that you thought you were playing. Okay. You're going to lose a game you didn't know you were playing. Vendor events are simply about connections and networking. My biggest goal at vendor events is booking parties. Okay. You may only hold, let's say, 20 out of 100 parties that you could possibly book at a vendor event, but that's 20 parties you didn't have. And that's 80 people who now know at least of your name. Okay. 100 people, I guess, let's say. But the number one tip you should take away from this concerning vendor events and making connections in your funnel is this. Everybody who goes to a vendor event is doing the same thing as you. They're trying to make connections. They're trying to build their community. They're trying to be successful. Now, half the companies probably already are successful and they just want to be more in that community or that area. The other half are struggling and really trying to branch out so their business doesn't go under just the same. So what you have to remember is those people who are there as vendors, just like you, they don't think of them as vendors. Think of them as the easiest way to make a sale or a connection. It's like they always say salespeople are the easiest to sell to. Yes. Okay, I'm telling you, you can make the most money by friending and befriending the vendor. So do that. Okay. Let's see. Oh, volunteer with an organization that you truly have a connection with. This is huge. You guys, I know that Pure Romance is really going this way to really encourage everybody to get into volunteering and being a part of organizations near to their heart, but it's true. I tend to volunteer with a lot of just military affiliated organizations in my area because I'm already in that community, so it's easy for me to give back to that community. But I also make it a point to start going to local, whatever I can locally too, because I don't want people to think, oh, she's just here because of the military. Well, yes, I'm stationed here because of the military, but I genuinely care about the places that I live in. Get involved with your school board. Some of you guys, most of you don't know this, but I was the PTSO president for my son's middle school this past year during this crazy pandemic. And I did it because I saw that there was a need that needed to be filled. They needed somebody who could speak up and not be afraid of their voice. And hello. Perfect, right? Okay, make acquaintances with other small businesses and publicly recommend them as often as possible. Other business owners will see this and want to connect with you as well. Yes. I'm telling you, when another woman goes and asks about an eyelash place, and I am the only person on that thread that can give her my own pictures, my own testimonial and feedback, and everybody else is just saying, go here because they're my friend. I have more backing, more weight to what it is that I'm recommending and saying. And that business, my eyelash company, sees that and they're like, oh my gosh, we're so lucky she's a client. Trust me, people have said that to me. We are so lucky that you are one of our supporters because you send so many people to us. Guess what? I'm providing free value to them, which means when somebody says, hey, I've been looking for a Pure Romance girl, they can be like, oh my God, you have to go to Summer Rain. Like they will sing your praises because you're singing theirs. All right. And again, if they're not replicating, break up. It's time to break up. Okay. All right. Don't spend all of your energy focusing on online connections. Let people see you as a familiar face. So when you post, okay, I talked about this, make sure that you are who you are in person in real life and you show up for both. Talk about everything that you learn. Get your certification and let people know that you have information to share. It'll attract like-minded and curious people. Go to training.pureromance.com. Go to the sexual education tab. Scroll to the little column on the right side or left side, whatever side it's on. And the second from the bottom is the sexual wellness education certificate. You can go in there, you can read about it, you can watch a video. If you go to the bottom, there's a gray box. Click on the gray box. That's what's going to take you to the University of Indiana and you can register. Now, even if you don't have time to do the certification right now, go in there, sign up for it. You can do it on your own time. We don't know when this is going to go back up to $300. But if you're a partner right now, you guys need to go and at least get in there while it's free so that you don't have to pay for it if it goes back up. Okay. All right, let's see. Don't make a separate Facebook for your profile and your business. Oh my gosh, this is a soapbox here. You guys, I know that there are many of you who will fight me tooth and nail on this, but here's what I have figured out. If you have 2 Facebook profiles, Facebook used to catch them really easily, and then people started changing emails, and now you can do it pretty good. But here's the thing. If you are adding only your let's see, your family to one, your family and close friends to one, and then you have another one that's only for your clients and your leads and things like that, there's going to be a disconnect. You think you're preventing your family and close friends from seeing what it is that you do with Pure Romance, but these leads over here, these potentials, two things it does. One, they're like, oh, I'm not on your personal Facebook, so what am I not seeing? What do I not know about it? What are you trying to hide? The other idea is that if they see you as somebody who's attractable in their mind to go into business with as a partner, but you're maintaining two Facebooks, two different social presences, they're going to think they have to do it too. And that's not duplicatable. So just think about that. Hear me out. Okay. And also, your grandmother, your grandfather, your pastors, your church people who are on your Facebooks, they will support you and they will share trust me. I was at my family's house last night, and for the first time in my entire life, I heard my dad explaining to his family what it is that I do. And y'all, he is Mexican and Catholic. So if you know anything about either two of those, like, it's something. But it was so amazing. Like, I choked up. My dad was talking about what I did, and he was saying, no, it's really important stuff that they do. They educate people about their bodies, and she helps people in their marriages. And I was like, oh God, I'm like about to cry. I was like, this is incredible. Like, I've never heard my dad say those things out loud. And it's because he watches everything that I post on Facebook, including the pictures of myself in lingerie. So, oh God, I'm starting to have a little mist in my face. All right. Real fast. Carry business cards or pens. I am religious about this. I actually just ran out, which was bad timing. I'm ordering more today. But I carry pens with me everywhere, especially because we got to eat a ton, which I guess has to stop because I'm doing Pure 21. Who else is doing Pure 21? Oh, it's coming out this week. I can't wait. But I take these piles of pens with me everywhere I go. And I literally am like, you guys, when I go to a restaurant, I'll ask my waitress, like, hey, do you need some pens? And then if another waitress goes by, I'm like, hey, do you need, how about this? I just give you guys a pile of pens. So you guys can share them in the back. What's really cool is then you gave something that was free to them of value, but it was full of value, but it was free for them. And now they're going to go out to the back room where all the other female waitresses usually are, right? And they're going to disperse the pens. And now they're going to talk about, what's this pen say? Who was this girl? And they're going to want to know more about you. So there's that. Introvert alert. I don't think I can be an introvert at times, but I'm really not. I'm pretty extroverted, I'd say. Or what's the word? I'm sure you guys can comment. What's the word for the person who's like both? I think I fit in there the older I get. But anyways, if you're an introvert and you're like, girl, all of this sounds great, but I cannot just go and talk to people. I can't do it. It's hard. You can do it, but it is hard. Let's agree on that, right? The number one way, PR gear, y'all. PR gear. There's the Facebook page. There's the website. Go and spend money on things that say Pure Romance or say your own personal Pure Romance brand on it. It sounds crazy, but let me tell you what, I wear PR gear almost every single day of my life, especially now because I'm in transition. I have hoodies. It's 27 degrees right now, right here. I've got t-shirts. I got yoga pants. I got hats. I got literally everything. I got mugs. So when I'm going live or if I take pictures in my office, I got all the things because people see it. Now, that's a whole other social media class, but you guys can have accidental marketing in your pictures because of PR gear. And people will be like, oh my God, what's your shirt? I love your shirt. I've asked people if they could have this shirt, like they want to buy this shirt. And I'm like, oh, it's actually one of my company shirts. See, Pure Romance. You ever heard of it? Like, it's an easy conversation. And just to wrap it up, you have to set a goal. What is your goal going to be? Are you talking sponsoring, booking parties? How many sales? From all of that, then how many leads do you need? Okay, great. How are you going to go find those leads? How are you going to nurture those leads? You have to detach from the outcome, right? Do the process, break it down, and you guys will get there. So be yourself, be genuine. People can read through your bullshit now more than, oh man, probably not allowed to say that. Sorry. BS more than ever because people have all been sitting on social media watching for 2 years nonstop. So they know if you're talking straight or not. They can read through it. So whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that you are truthful, that you are genuine. You're not going to win everybody over. but you'll find your people. So don't forget there's a quiz at the end of this, but I have a couple more minutes with you guys. I can't see the questions though. So let me see if I can go.
I've got questions.
Oh, go for it. Go.
Okay, good. I've been tracking people that have been typing things and all kinds of fun stuff. So that was super. Why on earth have I not had an album of screenshots of leads? I have albums for literally everything. It doesn't make any sense to me, but brilliant. Very smart little tip. So a couple of things.
Yes.
One, the PR gear is a brilliant tip and shameless plug for the Live Alive tour. Like, if for no other reason, not only are you going to get incredible training, but there's brand new PR gear that will be available only at those stops. So
I'm so excited.
Super smart reason to go. Absolutely.
I always plan at least $200 every single time for PR gear.
Yeah, that's definitely like, oh, I got Christmas money. Hooray! Right? Like super jazzed for that. And it's funny because all of my PR gear is cold weather. And now I live in Florida and it's like the surface of the sun. So I need all the fresh stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you would, I have a number of things that I'm hoping that we can get through. Oh, there was a number of people that were like, I don't understand how to find the Facebook lists concept. Can you go through that really fast?
So I'm going to be honest, it's difficult. And every single computer I'm on, it's different. So here's what I was thinking. Let me get on my computer and I'll make a post that shows exactly how to do it because it's too hard to explain real quick.
Yeah, it's totally fine. So if you'll just make a quick little video and pop it up there. They also would like to have, I'd like for you to post a picture of the funnel because it wasn't in your slideshow. I would have put it up if it was, but that's a very good visual to have. Sure. And then you shared the Indiana University stuff.
I did a
poll. Share with them some actual examples of events you have done. I know you have hosted things to expand your client base. So can you share some of that?
Okay, so when it comes to events, you have to remember that nobody else right now is bringing people together. And I know it can be super frustrating, especially with the holiday parties. We talked about this privately, Heather. Like, people are having holiday parties, people are getting invited, they're excited to it, and then the time comes, they're not showing up to it because of COVID right now. Keep trying. Don't give up. Okay, here's what happened to me. When I first moved to Pensacola, we actually had a terrorist attack happen on the base. I don't know if you guys heard about it a couple years ago. But it was really scary. And for weeks, nobody was leaving their house. Funny enough, I had already planned an event for 200 women to happen about 12 days after that had happened. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's my event. Like, that's your initial thinking, right? Like, it's gone. Like, there's no way to, let me tell you, I still had almost 100 women show up to my event. You know why? I reached out to them individually and was like, listen, I know it's a scary time right now, but I think we need to come together as a community. And I would really love to have you there. And it just happened. But that event was specific to military spouses for teaching them etiquette in the community. Other events I've done is I do bunkos. If you never played bunkos, it's just a really fun dice game. I love it because it's a potluck. People love trying other people's food. And sharing recipes. I've done speed dating before. I've also done loteria nights, which is like Mexican bingo. Think about it. Anything that you could play with like a group of 2 or 3 friends, you could probably make it a bigger event. And even if it starts as a group with like 3 people, the pictures and the videos that can come from that event, it's marketing. Take them, post them, have everybody post them who was there. People are going to say, when's the next one? Plan a next one for the next month. And just keep building it, right? So that's a lot of the ideas that I've done worked with.
Perfect. When you go to a new place, what is the first thing that you do in order to start meeting? Like, you've just moved in, you don't even know your neighbors. What do you do?
Before I even get there, I'm booking all my appointments. I book my eyelashes, my hair, my nails. I find everything before I get there. I want people to start seeing my name in the community online groups, so that they already know I'm coming. So now that I'm here, now I'm going to those appointments, I'm meeting people. I'm now looking up networking events. This month, what networking events can I get myself into? That's going to be it. And then, of course, yes, get to know my neighbors. So lots of walks with my crazy kids around the neighborhood.
Yep. Volunteering is for me. I volunteer extensively at my kids' school. and have met really, really, like, teachers are fun to party with. So it's a great
teachers
resource.
and nurses. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, always a good time. Yep. Because somebody was saying, well, what if I don't use any services? I find it very hard to believe as a woman that you don't do anything. You don't ever have your hair done.
Get yourself a massage for once, then, girlfriend.
Yes. Go get your toes painted. I mean, something, right? There's got to be something. But go to where the women hang out, right? Wherever there's women, that's where you want to be.
Yes.
Okay. I loved your breakup if they're not doing business with you. I have absolutely done that. And the funny thing is, the person that I broke up with the most noticeably ended up doing business with me after I broke up with her, which is unfortunate for her, but it's true. I mean, you know, you're going to do business with those that do business with you, and it should be reciprocal.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. When you are going, you said you have notebooks and you've got Post-its and all those things. When you have a kit sale, like we've got a great $39 social seller thing, like what a great way to kick off the year, right? How are you then translating your business to those that maybe you really haven't talked a lot of business with? You're just creating community with them. How do you make that natural transition?
Yeah. So, okay. So throughout the whole year, you should be working that list, right? Like some kind of connection. Now, I'm going through a huge transition. So it's been a few weeks, sometimes months, that I have been able to connect with some of these people. There is this big kids sale that I personally am about to work myself. So my first step on the back end is compiling my list into whatever space I'm going to work it. So usually what I do is I take a notebook and I find all my guys, I have like ADHD. So that's why my things are like list after list in different places. I try, but anyways, so I go to that list and I compile it. And with 100 people. I know that you might not have 100 leads, you guys, but this is just me. I'm telling you exactly what I do. You can make it scaled smaller or bigger. I usually get about 100 people together first, and I start working with groups of 10 at a time. And I do come up with some kind of message that's going to go out and be like, hey, girl, hey, so sorry, my life has been really crazy with this move. I'm not sure if you've been following along with me, but I wanted to make sure that, you know, I took the time to let you know there is a huge kit sale coming, and I wanted to see how interested you are in knowing more about it, or if you're just ready to sign up, if you want me to message you back in 3 months, which one do you prefer? And I'm very honest because, again, like I said, people can read through your BS. Like, this is a business transaction message. Let them know that's what this is. Other times when you are trying to be more kumbaya and connect with them, be different, right? But I'm very direct. This is what this is. This is what's going on. Do you want more information? Yes, no, or later. And then I do keep track of them 3 months. I put them on another list that's like 3 months later, that kit sale. I'm like, hey girl, here's the 3-month reminder. So.
Excellent. Okay. There are definitely some requests for some of the resources that you talked about. So again, the picture of the funnel, maybe if you have a sample spreadsheet that you can share for people.
Yeah.
I think that we've had a number of requests. We'll have to figure out. I feel like there's already a YouTube video of how to actually use a Google Sheet that you share with your assistant so that you can both be working inside of it.
Okay.
Helpful to have them. We'll put our
I'll
heads
go
together,
back to the comments. And I'll make sure I'll just post the stuff, but it'll probably be this week because I'm one more day with my family here, but I'll get back to you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we appreciate you doing this very much because I know you are in transition mode right now.
Yes. No,
well, thank you very much. It was an excellent class. And I guarantee it's one that people are going to be going back and watching again and again and again. So no worries if you're watching. Summer Rain will keep an eye on the chat, the comments, so that she can get all of those back to you, but just be patient with her because again, she is moving. Thanks, lady.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.